Hi, Sharon Durbin Graves, Painting with Acrylics 101.com, here in my studio. How many of you have ever seen in a dollar store or some kind of a discount house canvases, and you think, well, that's a heck of a price, man, I'd like to try that. Well, I have one. This came from the Dollar Tree in my town here in Kentucky, and this came in a pack from Dick Blick, an online art supply place. Now, I can tell you right here, there is tremendous difference in the weight. Before I even unwrap them, I can feel the difference. Now, let me show you why. See how this canvas is stapled and it comes right up to the edge of that, the frame. Let's look at the back of this one. It's the same width of the canvas, but there's this much more frame. It's wider. Okay, so I'd have to say that's at least an inch, inch and a half. This is not much more than a half an inch. So what does that mean to your painting? Well, the canvas is stretched, it's taut. Now, so here, let's set it up here. And I'm pushing, but I can't push much. Here I'm pushing, and I can go all the way to the back of that. So let's see. Now I can also tell. You probably can't tell, but in my own, right here in front of me, this one is yellower than this one. So that kind of tells me this one doesn't have maybe one coat of a gesso on it. It says it's Crafter's Square. It's an 8x10, and it's made in China. It doesn't really tell you, let's see here. Yeah, it's distributed by a company in Virginia, but it's made in China. Okay, so there's the plastic off of that one and the plastic off of this one. Okay, so again, this, I can't hardly push that. This, I can push it all the way to this board. So, in doing that, that means that when I push on my brush on there, it's going to give a lot and not be as taut. Now, I can feel the weave of the canvas. I can in this as well. I don't really feel much difference. This one might be a little toothier. The way the weave is, you get those holes in between the threads of the fabric. Okay, so and that's called the tooth, that part in there. So it might be a little more, but not much. So we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and gesso it up, and I'm going to use a colored gesso. I'm going to see, I'll probably put out equal amounts and then see if one takes more gesso than the other to cover it. And then we're going to come back, we're going to look at that, and then I'll paint something similar or the same on each of them and see what we get. So, and we'll do that step-by-step part, you know, the whatever we're going to paint on there. But I'm going to do the gessoing, and then I'm going to come back and we'll talk about it, okay? See you in a few. Okay, we're back. I toned both canvases. This is I kept them the very same orientation. This is the cheaper one, and this was the better made one, I believe. I realized I didn't do the top of that. I'll have to fix that. I poured out 2 things of paint, and I poured out obviously way too much paint, but it appears that this one took less paint to actually tone. Now I sprayed, probably you saw me spray them each. I gave each two squirts of just a very light mist of water, so the paint would move around easier. And what I've done here is it's called toning a canvas. And you do that so as you're painting, sometimes the little white from the canvas underneath there will show through. As your paint, particularly if you're working with acrylic paint, as it dries, it evaporates, and so sometimes you'll have tiny little spots of white that will show through. Well, if you don't want that, then you need to tone your canvas underneath, and I used a terracotta because I knew I had enough terracotta for both of these canvases. Now I really like gray better, and I'm almost out of it because I use it much more than the terracotta. But for the purposes of this demonstration, it didn't matter what color we used. We could have used any color that I had on hand, but this is actually a terracotta gesso. It's a colored gesso. And I like that. So that's what we have here. Now we just have to decide what are we going to try to paint on both of them that we'll be able to get the feel of how the paint works into it now. And I'm thinking it might change, between now and then. But I'm thinking I'm going to do a sort of a seascape, sky kind of a thing. So we'll see how that works out. You won't really see any of this. This will bring some warmth through whatever I put on here. It will be warmer because of this terracotta behind there. So, okay, well, we'll be back in a few minutes and we'll get to work on that. So thanks a lot. Okay, I put a basic sky background on here. I stopped right about the same point on both of them. I started out with dioxazine purple, ultramarine blue. I added some white to that, and as I came down, I added more white. Then I added some turquoise deep and some white to that, and as I came down, I got lighter and lighter. That's how a basic sky works. You start out darker and you get lighter as you come towards the horizon line. Now, I could feel the give in this canvas the whole time I was painting. I felt like I was kind of bouncing off of it, and I felt like I was fighting the tooth the whole time. This is a much tauter canvas, and I did not feel like I was fighting it so much. Now, your end result, there's not that much difference. I felt like I used more paint on this one here. I felt like I was going to the palette much more often for paint for this one. This one seemed to just kind of flow right on there. So now, is this something that you should never ever buy? You can certainly practice on this. You can make as you're learning, because you will fight the tooth. See, this one's much smoother than this one. I didn't feel it before when they weren't 100% dry, but now that they are, I really do feel the difference. But the bouncing part could give you trouble. I haven't used any kind of anything other than a bristle brush. I use a number 12 bristle brush to do everything I've done. So I haven't used a script liner or anything like that on them, so I don't know what's going to happen there. Now, I will guess, an educated guess, but a guess nonetheless, that a script liner brush, if I were to do tree branches or whatever, will work better on this because it's tauter. I'm going to fight this a lot more. But certainly for a painting party or a painting that you're going to do that doesn't have tons and tons of detail, this would be absolutely fine. And for kids, yeah, yeah, you could easily do that. However, let me just say this, you can find a good canvas with a wider frame at Hobby Lobby, and I think they work out to be about $2 a piece. So, you know, okay, $1, $2. If you're buying a ton of them, you know, you might want to, you could get some of these for children to paint on. But for somebody who's serious about learning to paint, I really think you should go with the best that you can afford. I never, ever suggest that people go into debt for painting, or for really hardly anything. I'm pretty much a cash girl. But if you want to learn, I would recommend that you go ahead and spend the extra money and get a better canvas so you're not fighting it the whole time. And I'm pretty certain that when I go on here and I want to paint a tree or something, that this is going to give so much, my script liner for my branches is going to have trouble. So anyway, I hope that this helped you. Again, I would never say don't ever buy that, but think about what you're going to use it for. And if you're to the point where you want to get some serious art, create some serious art, some good looking work, then go with a better canvas for yourself. Make it a little easier on yourself. So thanks a lot. Have a great day. If you've enjoyed this, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. There's usually a little bell that'll pop up. Click on that and it'll notify you every week when I upload a new video. I usually upload them on Friday, so do that. My website is www.paintingwithacrylics101.com, and it's created for beginning artists to help you with foundational concepts and things like that. There's also individual single subject classes on there that you can go in and purchase a class on a number of different things, and I'm always adding new classes to my website. So thank you so much. Hope you had a great day. Oh, one more thing. If you are a beginning artist and you know you've always wanted to learn to paint or draw, and life kind of got in the way, I have a free Facebook group created just exactly for you. It's called Bucket List Artists. And you can go look in Facebook groups, search Bucket List Artists, and ask to join. There'll be 3 questions that pop up. Just answer the 3 questions, and then I'll be able to open that door right up for you. And you can scroll around in there and see all the different classes and things that I've already taught. I teach a Facebook Live every Thursday. And I try to keep it at 1 o'clock, but I don't always make it. Don't shoot me, but that's my try. That's my goal, is to get Thursdays at 1 o'clock. So I have a homeschool Facebook group. It's called Homeschool Art Club, and it's I go live in there on Wednesdays. And I'm kind of fluctuating back between morning and afternoon. The jury's out right this minute, but no, it's been 1 o'clock for a long time. But I'm kind of feeling around to see if like 10 o'clock would be better. But at any rate, go into Facebook groups, search in the search bar Homeschool Art Club. It'll pop up. Answer those 3 questions, and then I can open that door up for you. And there's tons. That group's been going for well over a year. So there's lots of classes and things in there that you can incorporate into your homeschool. So thanks a lot. Have a great day. I hope to paint with you real soon.